actually at I'm going to a doctor's appointment right now, so I have to stay on
okay.
mute. Yeah, sorry. I
Okay.
wish I could. My
Mother
apologies.
Mother Shobarati, you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I have to mute YouTube. Just 1 second.
I'm going to a doctor's appointment right now, so I.
Okay. Oh, it's a little delayed.
He
Okay.
who brought
He who brought the treasure of divine love and who has filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Advaita Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We're reading, studying, discussing Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 3, the Lord's Stay at the House of Advaita Acharya, text number 182. And this version doesn't have the translator. You see this?
English, they don't have any English.
Still, there's another.
There
you go. Thanks. We have any Bengali speakers online? No, not.
I don't know, Sutapa is there or not.
Okay. I don't know if anybody would like to venture or not. No.
Hare Krishna. So I'm waiting in the waiting room now. If I can start.
Yeah, sure. You're learning Bengali.
I'm learning. I'm not going to be Kavita, but
that's okay. So sometimes when you by doing it, then you get inspiration to learn it better. So yeah. So I'm happy if you'd like to do it. And
okay.
When you can't, then we'll just have someone else. It's okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hate e yukti bahala moda mane loy. Nilache rahe jadi dui karya hoy.
Good. Mother Sachi said, this consideration is good. In my opinion, if Nimai remains at Jagannath Puri, he may not leave any one of us, and at the same time can remain aloof as a sannyasi. Thus, both purposes are fulfilled. You know what this is called in modern parlance?
Two birds with the...
You could say, of course, we don't kill birds, but or you could say a win-win situation. No, win-win. Okay. Text 183.
Nilache navadvip jena dui gara loka kathagati varta haba nirantar.
Thank you. Since Jagannath Puri and Navadvip are intimately related, as if they were two rooms in the same house. People from Navadvip generally go to Jagannath Puri, and those in Jagannath Puri go to Navadvip. This going and coming will help carry news of Lord Chaitanya. In this way, I will be able to get news of him. Text 184.
Tumi shab karite para gamanang gamanangamana
Yes.
Ganga snane kabu habe tanra
Yeah.
agamana.
All you devotees will be able to come and go, and sometimes he may also come to take his bath in the Ganges.
Apanara dukha sukh tahan nahi gani tanra je shuk taha nija shuk mani.
I do not care for my personal happiness or unhappiness, but only for his happiness. Indeed, I accept his happiness as my happiness.
Shuni bhakta gana tanre kariyas tatvana Ved Angya Jaiche Mata Tomara Bajana.
Then it pays itself.
After hearing Sachimata, all the devotees offered her prayers and assured her that her order, like a Vedic injunction, could not be violated.
Bhakta Gana Prabhu Age Ashiya Kohila Shuniya Prabhuda Mone Ananda Hoila.
All the devotees informed Lord Chaitanya of Sachimata's decision. Hearing it, the Lord became very pleased. So apparently Lord Chaitanya wasn't there when she made that decision, or physically present, yeah.
I'm thinking about
Navadvip Bashi Adijata Bhaktigan Shabhare Samhana Kari Balila Hachana.
You okay?
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered respects to all the devotees present from Navadvip and other towns, speaking that to them as follows.
But I know, but I'm just
Tumi
saying.
Shaba Loka
Yeah.
Mora Parama Pandava E Piksha Magon More Deha Tumi Shab.
My dear friends, you are all my intimate friends. Now I am begging a favor of you. Please give it to me.
Ghare Jana Karasada Krishna
Prabhu,
Sankirtan.
you moved it, Prabhu. Pran.
Krishna Nam, Krishna
Oh, okay.
Katha,
Oh.
Krishna Aradhan.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested them all to return home and begin chanting the holy name congregationally. He also requested them to worship Krishna, chant his holy name, and discuss his holy pastimes. Purport. The cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Hare Krishna movement, is very nicely explained by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu authoritatively. It is not that everyone has to take sannyas like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone can execute the cult of Krishna consciousness at home, as ordered by the Lord. Everyone can congregationally chant the holy name of Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra, Maha Mantra. One can also discuss the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and install deities of Radha Krishna or Gaur Nitai or both and worship them very carefully in one's own home. It is not that we have to open different centers all over the world. Whoever cares for the Krishna consciousness movement can install deities at home and under superior guidance, worship the deity regularly, chanting the Mahamantra and discussing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. We are actually teaching in our classes how to go about this. One who feels that he is not ready to live in the temple or undergo strict regulative principles in the temple, especially householders who live with wife and children, can start a center at home by installing the deity, worshiping the Lord morning and evening, chanting Hare Krishna, and discussing the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone can do this at home without difficulty, and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu requested all the devotees present there to do so. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupakadamahyam Dadati Sha Pandantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Before speaking, I would like to ask the blessings and permission of all devotees, and particularly those who are more senior by age and or advancement in Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna. This verse, can we just go up a little bit so look at the verse? Hare Jaha Kara Shada Krishna Sankirtan Krishna Nam Krishna Katha Krishna Aradhan. So this is similar to a prayer that Lord Nityananda, Srila Prabhupada said that Lord Nityananda was supposed to have said the prayer that's very popular in Bengal. And Srila Prabhupada said we could chant it at least on Gaur Purnima day, if not other days. It goes, Bhaja Gauranga. You know this one? Bhaja Gauranga, Kahu Gauranga, Laho Gauranga, Nam Re. Gauranga, Nam Re. Je Jan Gauranga Bhaji Shehoy Amar Pran Re. So worship Gauranga. Kaha Gauranga, chant about Gauranga. Take his name, Loha Gauranga Nam Re. Take his name. Je Jan Gauranga Bhaji Shehoy Amar Pran. Anybody who does that is my life. That's Nityananda Prabhu is mostly said here. So here it's not Gauranga, it's Krishna Nam, because this is Lord Chaitanya saying it, not Nityananda Prabhu. Take Krishna's name, speak about Krishna, and worship Krishna. Very similar things here. The simple nutshell summary of the Krishna consciousness movement in Lord Chaitanya's own words, just prior to his departure from the Madhya district. He asked his devotees to go home and chant congregationally, read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and worship either Radha Krishna or Gaur Nitai, Shri Gaur Nitai, or both. And then he said something, Srila Prabhupada mentioned something very interesting. He said, under superior guidance. Under superior guidance. What do you take as that what is the superior guidance? Would you conclude from that? Anybody?
Guru Sadhu Shastra.
Yeah, so it's not that one just worships Krishna any way he wants. Yeah, some people do that. And it's not that one just chant the Hare Krishna mantra any way you want, or read Bhagavad Gita and make your own interpretation any way you want. Krishna, the Pandavas are the five senses, etc. But under superior guidance, the instructions of the spiritual master, the sadhus, Shastra, and that way the Krishna consciousness movement can spread. It's something like an infection or disease. Have you ever been diseased? The problem, the worry is that people will catch the disease, and then it'll spread like an epidemic. We had the COVID-19. Srila Prabhupada sometimes likened Krishna consciousness to a disease. Did you know that? When he was speaking to Giriraj Maharaj, his parents had visited Giriraj Maharaj, and they were trying to get him to renounce Krishna consciousness, by various enticements, giving him money or giving him some, property, etc., etc. So Prabhupada said, I'm afraid it's hopeless. You've been infected by Krishna consciousness. It's a disease. You'll never be able to get cured from this. So anyway, there's a liking of that. But so by superior authority, one learns to begin Krishna consciousness. Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. By the superior guidance, one begins to associate with devotees and takes the beginning of Krishna consciousness is Adau Guruvashraya, to take shelter of a guru, ideally a pure devotee, Uttama Adhikari, and learn to discharge devotional service according to his or her instructions. That's in the Krishna consciousness movement. Our basis for our devotional activities is based on the instructions of the founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, which are consistent with those of previous acharyas, sadhus, and also the Shastras, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. It said, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri ki Videvina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataya Eva Kalpate. That performing devotional service without reference to the Shruti and the Smriti as given by the spiritual master, it just creates a disturbance in society. So in our classes, in our practice of devotional service, we have a message from Dronacharya here. And of course, it's not just deity worship. We have to do things under superior guidance. It's also understanding Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and also how to chanting the holy names. So where were we? I forget now. All right.
Shruti Smriti Purana.
Okay, Shruti Smriti Purana. Yeah, because people will make up all kinds of ways to do worship and chant the holy names and understand and interpret Bhagavad Gita. So we have to be on guard and regularly seek direction from superior authorities, and because we're in the atmosphere, the environment of Maya, and Kali Yuga is making progress very rapidly, and Maya will attack at any moment if we're not very careful or vigilant. That's her business. That's her service to Krishna. So it's important to be vigilant to those possibilities and always take guidance and instruction from peers and superior authorities. Otherwise, we can easily, even on the royal road, Prabhupada said, that there can be attacks, problems, etc. A few things from the previous verses also that weren't commented in the purport. Srila Prabhupada it was said, it's not from the purport, but from the previous verses. It was the devotees took Mother Sachi's words to be like a Vedic injunction. You don't have to go back; it's okay. You remember that the devotees took Mother Sachi's words to be a Vedic injunction, even though she's Mother Sachi. But that's also important. We take the instructions of the Guru, the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, to be like a Vedic instruction. And Srila Prabhupada said that the prayers by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, he said many times, are as good as the Vedas. So Mother Sachi's instructions like that were as good as the Vedas. And she also summarized the attitude of devotees in Krishna consciousness. She said, I'm not interested in my happiness, but your happiness is my happiness. That is the essence of bhakti yoga, isn't it? How can we please the spiritual master? And if the spiritual master is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Sometimes when we chant that prayer, we don't make any distinction between yasya prasada and yasya prasada, two different things. By your mercy, yasya prasada, by your mercy, bhagavat prasada, you get the mercy of Krishna. Yasya prasada, but without your mercy, nagati kutopi. I'm nowhere. I'm a nowhere man. So that's a interesting point. Then also, it said that when Lord Caitanya was speaking and heard about going to Puri, from the devotees and Mother Sachi, he offered his obeisances to all the devotees. Did you notice that? So here, Lord Caitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he's offering obeisances to the devotees. You might think, oh, and he's a sannyasi here. And one of the reasons, he given that he took sannyas is that people were not respecting him. They were criticizing him very seriously, and so he took sannyas in order to help benefit them by traditionally people would offer respects to him, but here he's offering respects to the devotees. So even someone highly placed, even Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even a sannyasi offers respects to devotees. And we know that Raghunath Das Goswami used to offer respects to 1,000, often obeisances to 1,000 devotees every day. Can you imagine that? What is your record of offering obeisances? What is your record? That's Raghunath Das Goswami. Yeah. And because one of the main enemies of advancement in devotional service is false pride. Amanitvam madambitvam. When Lord Krishna describes the characteristics of knowledge, the first thing he mentions, amanitvam madambitvam, humility and pridelessness, non-violence. Then he says ahimsa. Usually, when one becomes proud, then the next thing is they commit unnecessary violence to other living beings. Just like we're speaking lately about Damodar Lila. In Damodar Lila, you have Nalakuvara and Manigriva. Acharya Prabhu. They have these you can get these cushion things for your knees when you bow down that you can wear. Anyway, so Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, they were sons of Kuvera, but they were intoxicated by their big position, by their wealth. And Srila Prabhupada and then Srimad Bhagavatam also, Shukadev Goswami, comments very elaborately there that when one is puffed up, one is falsely proud of one's position, then there's no hesitation in causing pain to other living entities, like killing animals. Although we don't have any specific mention that Nala Kuvera and Manigriva were doing that, but still there's the description that when one becomes puffed up that way, then there's violence to other living entities and killing animals and stuff like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing, even as a sannyasi, even as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he's retaining that attitude of being humble to devotees, including his superiors, Advaita Acharya, and those on the equal level, and those even below him. So it's very interesting. Then, anybody have any comments or questions about this? No? Interesting points are that Srila Prabhupada, even though in the beginning of the ISKCON movement, he was encouraging devotees to start centers around the world. He sent devotees to London. They went to San Francisco in the beginning, and there was a push in the beginning to start temples. But here he's saying that's not actually required. This is like 1974. And in 1972, actually, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Rupanuga where he said, we've got enough devotees. This is 1972. We've got enough devotees. We would like now, the important thing is to boil the milk. Now make the devotees, concentrate on making the devotees, on encouraging the devotees that we have to improve their quality of their devotional service. That was 1972. And he compared it to boiling the milk. Because when the milk is boiled, it becomes thick, very sweet. But the other process is to water down, and eventually you have nothing, no milk at all, or no nutritious food. So hopefully we can, even if there's an increase in numbers of devotees, we don't water that down, but every devotee can take instruction from Srila Prabhupada and advanced devotees. We have so many gurus, sadhus in the ISKCON movement, so that their processes of hearing and chanting, describing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and worshipping Gaur Nitai and Radha Krishna, they'll be improved to the point of helping them go back to Godhead. Of course, our main emphasis, our main concern is the Yuga Dharma, is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Those are that's the prime one. And the others are also important. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of, and he was following Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, that deity worship and which he called Archana Vidhi and Pancharatriki Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi, chanting the holy names and preaching Krishna consciousness, go just like two rails on a railroad. You know, they have rails that have one railroad that has one rail, but they're not very steady at all. Usually you have to have two rails. So those are the two rails of the Krishna consciousness movement, are Bhagavad Vidhi and Pancharatriki Vidhi. Bhagavad Vidhi means chanting the holy names and teaching, spreading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Pancharatriki is the worship of the deities. And of the two, Srila Prabhupada said that Bhagavad Vidhi is more important. Both are very important. Both are important, but Bhagavad Vidhi is more. Hare Krishna. Other comments, questions? Okay. Haribo. Next. I don't know if Shashi Shekhar Prabhu is still there. Maybe not. Maybe it's at his doctor's appointment. I'll just say, Agya Deha Nilachale Koriye Gaman Madhye Ashi Tomai Diba Darashan. After thus instructing the devotees, the Lord asked their permission to go to Jagannath Puri. He assured them that at intervals he would come there and meet them again and again. Eta boli shabhakare ishat hashina. Vidaya korila prabhu shaman korina. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering due
Samana
respects. Did I make a mistake? Mother
Samana
Bindrani?
Karina.
What did I say?
Saman, you said.
Okay,
Right.
Saman, yeah. Thank you.
Samana. Samana.
Sometimes they don't, in the Bengali, they don't say that last A. Did you know? You know that. Offering due respects to all the devotees and smiling very mildly, bade them farewell. Wow. Shava vidaya diya, Prabhu chalite koila man, Haridas kande kohe koruna vachan. After requesting all the devotees to return home, the Lord decided to go to Jagannath Puri. At that time, Haridas Thakur began to cry and speak some pathetic words. Nilachale jabe tumi mor kon gati, Nilachale jaite mor nahika shakati. Haridas Thakur said, "You are going to Jagannath Puri, and that is all right. But what will be my destination? I am not able to go to Jagannath Puri." Report. Although Srila Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, he was accepted as a properly initiated Brahmin. As such, he had every right to enter the temple of Jagannath Puri. But because there were some rules and regulations stipulating that only Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, members of the Varnashram Dharma system, could enter, Haridas Thakur, out of his great humility, did not want to violate these existing rules. He therefore said that he did not have the strength to enter into the temple. And he pointed out that if Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived within the temple, there would be no way for Haridas Thakur to see him. Later, when Haridas Thakur went to Jagannath Puri, he lived outside the temple at a place called Siddhabakul. A monastery has now been erected there, known as Siddhabakul Mutt. People who visit Jagannath Puri often go to see Siddhabakul and the tomb of Haridas Thakur on the beach by the sea. Hare Krishna. Oh, I don't know if maybe some of you have been to Siddhabakul and Haridas Thakur Samadhi. Yeah, it's a very, when the Siddhabakul tree is, you can go visit. It's spread. The Bakula tree's branches are spread very widely around the location, and there's Haridas Thakur. That's where he would chant his japa every day. And even though he didn't choose to enter the temple of Jagannath, he was refused. We don't even see that he attempted to get into the temple. We don't have any information that ever happened. But he knew that the temple priests there, the pandas, would have stopped him from coming in, which is there till to this day. Sometimes if ISKCON devotees who are not from Hindu backgrounds have attempted to get into the temple, and usually what happens, you know what happens? They beat them. Did you know that? They beat them. Anyway, so Haridas Thakur didn't make an attempt to get in the temple, but Lord Chaitanya personally would go visit Haridas Thakur every day in his at his noontime, part of his noontime duties. And Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, recognized, as did Advaita Acharya, that Haridas Thakur was a true Brahmana. People can be considered Brahmana by birth, but A true Brahmana is one who's understands God. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. Janmane Jayate Shudra Sanskara Bhaved Dvija Veda Patat Bhaved Vipra Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. This is the Vedic version. Everybody is born Shudra. And by the sanskar means not just a ritual, but actual training. And that is the purpose of our Krishna consciousness movement, to be able to provide training on how to do things in Krishna consciousness. So training is there. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that when you go for a doctor, you don't say, what was your birth? Where were you born? But we want to know, did they get trained in the proper university? Sometimes they're people who fake and they put a little, certificate on the wall, but they never actually went to medical school, and so you have to wonder. Avoid those people. So where were you trained? Did you get the proper training? Yeah, sanskara bhave dvija. Then by training, by sanskara, then a person can become dvija. Similarly, anybody with proper training can become a dvija, twice born. Then by study of the Vedas, one becomes a vipra, and Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. Someone who's actually understands who is God. They are Brahmana. So in the early days, Srila Prabhupada, when he was giving classes, he was encouraging people to read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And that at a certain point, he said, okay, we're going to have some Caitanya Caritamrita classes. And the question was, but I thought that was only for advanced people. And he said, okay, you know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Okay, that's advanced. Therefore, we'll send Caitanya Caritamrita class. Yeah. So those of you who may understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yeah, it's good that you're coming to the Caitanya Caritamrita class. This was back in 1966. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. And Haridas Thakur wasn't a Brahmana in name only. He was actually a Brahmana, and he was due all the respect of a Brahmana. And similarly, in the Krishna consciousness movement, there are devotees from low class, or from a Vedic point of view, low caste background, but by training and by activities and practice, they've come to the position of a Brahmana. So one shouldn't just take it as, it's just a formality. No, but if they're actually a Brahmana, then they should be given respect in that way, just like Haridas Thakur in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Not just a fake Brahmana, but a real Brahmana. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. Sometimes it's said that, there are different types of individuals, women, children, Brahmanas, who are not supposed to be punished. Did you know this? In Vedic society, they don't punish Brahmanas. That's why when Ashvatthama, even after killing the 5 sons of the Pandavas, right, there was big hesitation whether he should be punished, because the argument was, well, he's a Brahmana, even though he was not acting as a Brahmana, that. But still, because there was some respect for that, that was part of the culture. You don't punish a Brahmana. At the same time, Yudhishthira was against punishing. Draupadi was against punishing. Bhima was for punishing. And Krishna was, what did Krishna want?
He wanted him punished.
Punish him, yeah. So Arjuna was in a dilemma. Two votes on one side, 2 votes on the other side. So then he just disfigured him a little bit. So
that's why Kunti Maharani said, because he's a Brahmana, just leave.
No. Kunti wasn't there at that time. It was Draupadi.
Draupadi, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She said, don't punish him because he's a Brahmana.
Yes. And he was not just a Brahmana, any Brahmana, but the son of their teacher, Dronacharya. And so anyway, so he gave some special care, concern for that, not to just immediately cut off his head or something.
Prabhu, this
And
Siddha Bakula is very close to the temple.
yeah, it's not far.
Uh,
When you go there, you'll see many devotees come there. They chant japa there, the place of Haridas Thakur. Very nice.
I didn't know that. I went so many times. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kept relatively nicely now. It used to be pretty messy, but it's in nice condition now. No difficulty going. Okay. Muni adhama tomar na pab darshan kemate dhariba a papishta jivan. Because I am the lowest among men, I shall not be able to see you. How shall I maintain my sinful life? Prabhu kahe, kara tumi danya shamvaran, tomar danyete mor vyakul hoy man. The Lord replied to Haridas Thakur, please check your humility. Just the sight of your humility very much agitates my mind. Toma lagi Jagannathe koriba nivedan, Toma rana jabe ami Shri Purushottam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assured Haridas Thakur that he would place a petition before Lord Jagannath and that he would certainly take him there to Jagannath Puri. I don't know what that petition was, but apparently it was a petition that Lord Jagannath would give him some place to stay there. Yeah. Text 198. Tobe ta acharya kahe binaya korina din dvichari roha kripa ta korina. After that, Advaita Acharya respectfully requested Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show him mercy by remaining another 2 or 4 days. This is interesting. In the, at least in the Bengali, I don't know if it's in Sanskrit, but there's some expression, dvichari, yeah, 2 or 4 days. So in English, we say a few days, right? A few, what is a few?
Any number.
Like 3, maybe at least 3, right? Could be 3, 4, but it's not really specific. Yeah, 2 or 4 days. Yeah, please stay a few more days. Yeah, this is similar.
So in India, Prabhu, in different languages, they say the similar thing. For example, in Hindi, they say, "Do char din ruk lo." That's 2 to 4 days.
2 and 4.
2 to 4 days.
2 to 4 days.
Yeah. It's not very specific. You can do, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, right? Or more, something.
But we also say in our language,
Yeah, many
2, 3
languages.
days. 2, 3 days.
Right.
So this is reminiscent of when, after the battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna was present. He came in Hastinapur and he was about to leave. Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti, gave prayers to Lord Krishna and asked him to stay, but still he was on his way out afterwards. You know that. So then Yudhishthir Maharaj came and he said, please stay another, I don't know if it was 2 or 4, but something like that. So Lord Krishna stayed a little bit, and then that's when there was some other, speaking with Bhishma Dev. Anyway, so similarly, Advaita Acharya is saying, don't go just yet, even though Lord Chaitanya had just said, I'm going now to Jagannath Puri. So Krishna is malleable to the desires of his devotees, even though he had already said he's going. Advaita Acharya's appeal, okay, he'll stay a little. He's very soft-hearted to his close and dear associates. We know that in this Damodar month, Krishna was very kind to his devotee, Mother Jashoda. He allowed her to capture him, even though he can't be captured at the speed of the mind. Pantastokoti satavatsara sampragamyo vayo ratapi manaso munipungavanam so pyasti yat parpadyasimya vichintya tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The yogis, they drill their breath, that's called pranayam, and they travel at the speed of the mind. They have an astral rocket, but they can't even approach the tip of the toe of Govinda. This prayer by Brahma, Lord Brahma. And then, but Mother Yashoda running, she was, she was just tired because she had was churning butter quite exertedly, but she was able to catch Krishna because Krishna is captured by the devotees' devotion, love. The verse is there from the Srimad Bhagavatam in 10th canto, where Lord Brahma says that Lord Krishna becomes, even though he's Ajita, means it's not conquerable, Ajita becomes Jita by the devotion of his servants. Stane stita shrutikatam tanuvag manobhi. And how do you conquer Krishna? By regular hearing and chanting about him. Regularly. Yeah, stane stita. You don't have to change your position, as Prabhupada mentioned before, but regularly hear and chant about the holy names and pastimes and qualities of Krishna. Text 199. Acharya Bhakya Prabhu na kore longhan, Rohila Advaita Grihe na korila gaman. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never violated the request of Advaita Acharya. Therefore, he remained at his home and did not leave immediately for Jagannath Puri. We know that Advaita Acharya was at least partially responsible for the advent of Lord Chaitanya. So right from the beginning, he didn't violate the request. Advaita Acharya, please come. Text 200. Anandita Hoila Acharya Shachi Bhakta Shab Prati Deen Kore Acharya Maha Mahotsav. Lord Chaitanya's decision was received very happily by Advaita Acharya, Mother Sachi, and all the devotees. Advaita Acharya celebrated every day with a great festival. Next 201. Dvi Krishna Katha Rasha Bhakta Gana Shange Ratre Mahamohotsav Sankirtana Range. During the day, the devotees discussed subject matters concerning Krishna. And at night, there was a great festival of congregational chanting at the house of Advaita Acharya. Okay. We can stop there. If anybody has comments or questions or observations or reflections, corrections, statements. Krishna Kirtan Prabhu's not here. Oh, Acharya Prabhu. Thank you.
Krishna Kirtan was first.
Oh, I didn't see him. Okay.
Okay. I just think it's nice that referring back to that earlier verse where Mahaprabhu gave the instructions that you do Nam Sankirtan, you take the holy name, you do Krishna Katha, and now even before he leaves, they're taking it up.
Good point. So it's not just some statement, but they immediately do what exactly as he's saying right there. Yeah, good point. Thank you. And this isn't something new, even though he says begin Sankirtan. We know that even earlier in Lord Chaitanya's Leela, when he began the Sankirtan movement at the house of Srivas Thakur, at that time the Sankirtan was restricted to certain his close associates. But people would come and say, we want to join. We want to join the Sankirtan. And we know what he would tell them? He wouldn't let them in. But he would tell them, very nice, very good. You want to do, but please chant at home. But go at home and please chant the holy names regularly in your homes, he would say. So it's the similar request is here. Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, did you have something? Or are you at a place where you can speak? Mother Shobharati, you just unmuted.
Yeah, I don't think Krishna Kirtan Prabhu is on the.
Oh, okay. Because
I just got a message that he was in India.
yeah, I know he was in India, but sometimes people connect from
Yeah.
India. Okay.
No,
All
the
right.
only thing I was thinking is we get superior guidance, we get superior training, but we are still so resistant to taking it. And I'm just sometimes amazed how resistant we are, how thick-skinned we are, and not letting all the good guidance get to us.
Yeah, that's our condition in this material world, isn't it? That's why we're here. Krishna gave guidance. Lord Chaitanya gave guidance. Srila Prabhupada gave guidance. Our guru gave guidance. Our godbrother gave guidance. But still, we think, oh, I know better. How can people tell me what to do? I don't. That's our, and it's not, it's not wonderful. It's not surprising because that's our material conditioning. That's how we're here. What is wonderful is if we can take to heart, and it's not easy always to take to heart of the instruction of the spiritual master. We were reading yesterday, Bhakti Charu Maharaj was in his memory book, the memory book, it's memory volume 2. So Srila Prabhupada asked him to get some orange juice in the morning. This was very late in Prabhupada's Leela, and he just he wouldn't be able to get up from bed and stuff like that. So he went to make orange juice, but he couldn't find any oranges, and then he had to send somebody, because at that time in Vrindavan, the market was like a mile away from the temple, so there were no shops in the area. So there was a whole delay in orange juice, and finally he was able to do it. And when Srila Prabhupada, he finally came with the orange juice, Srila Prabhupada was critical of him. And then Srila Prabhupada stepped back and he said, I'm an old man, and I sometimes get critical like this. So please. So, Bhakti Churmara said, he started to cry. And he said, unless you correct me, how will I learn? How will I learn? So that was, I found that very interesting, because he exhibited the attitude of the disciple. Whether you get praised or whether you get corrected, both are mercy. We like the praise, but we don't want the correction. That's me. I like the praise, but I don't like the correction. But amanina manadena, amanina manadena. That's the heart. So that is our job. That's our job, and that Lord Chaitanya said that's the essential ingredient to continue to chant the holy name. So that's our task every day. Acharya Prabhu, you have to comment on this. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great incident you recounted about Bhakti True Swami. And I don't know if this is right or whatever, but I think it's also nice. Of course, the role of the disciple is to accept, chastisement, praise, whatever the spiritual master gives. But I also found it kind of beautiful that Srila Prabhupada could also be sensitive about, how his disciple was perceiving things and explaining, yeah, okay, I got a little upset or whatever. So I like that there's sort of an understanding on both sides.
Yes.
Not that the spiritual master is only harsh and he doesn't care about how the disciple takes it, because the disciple's supposed to take it no matter what, but there's also some sensitivity on that side.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Good point. So yeah, and then when you get old like me, who's going to chastise me? Yeah, we all need and so sometimes it's arranged by material nature to be chastised by material nature.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol?
You were saying, like we have, like Raghunath Das Goswami offer, so many obeisances, like thousands or something.
1,000. That was his sadhan, part of his sadhan. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Nativi.
Yeah. What you observe in, we nowadays we're getting less and less devotees offer respect to each other.
Yes, that's true.
No, in the beginning of the movement, I know every time we see somebody, we bow down and say, Van Chakal Patra Review Chakipa. But nowadays, the younger people, there's a younger generation of devotees. They think we don't have to do that. We don't have to.
That's true. And even as we old timers like that, I'm not saying necessarily you're an old timer. I mean, me an old timer. We also make them less. We just say we'll say Dandavats, Prabhu, Dandavats, but we don't actually offer the Dandavats. That happens. And it's true what you said that sometimes you'll see even recordings of devotees doing plays in the 1970s, and everybody, every time you turn around, they're offering obeisances to different persons. It's all like that. And Lord Caitanya here in this case, he offered obeisances to the devotees. He offered his respect to them. So it's a big deal. Yeah, and that's called austerity of the body. Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Saucha Marjavam Brahmachari Mahingsacha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. It's austerity. Austerity. So perhaps in some quarters we've become less respectful, less
and also
austere.
another part of this question is that the younger generation nowadays, they don't think, like they need to be told what is right, what is wrong, because that the way the culture, especially in America, in Indian culture, they have something left there. You can, you're older, elderly, you can, more experience, you can tell them, what to do. But nowadays people, they're not ready to listen,
No.
They feel that you're interfering whatever they're doing and you're micromanaging their life.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that it might be something that's more prevalent in the West or the younger generation. I know that it's traditional in India that when the children gets up in the morning, they go and touch the feet of their parents. Did Mother Shobharati, did Mother Shobharati used to touch your feet, Mother Vindhyavali?
No.
I don't put her on the spot.
They used to long time ago. My
long time back.
Not
Yeah,
now.
So, but it's in everybody, not just the younger generation. I wouldn't put it, but yeah. So the point is, whoever we are, let's take a step back and try to offer proper respect. Of course, there's different levels of devotees. Someone who chants the holy name even once, you give mental respect at least. Je bhaje she boro abhakta hincha. Krishna bhajana nahi jati kuladi bicha. And someone who is initiated and following the regulations of the spiritual master, you offer obeisances. And then the advanced uttama adhikaris, then you not only offer obeisances, but you serve them. Mahat sevam dvaram ahur vimukte. The door for, Rishabh Dev said, the door for liberation is open, wide open, by serving those great souls. Mahat sevam dvaram ahur vimukte tamo dvaram yoshitam shangi sangam. And by serving those who are attached to materialistic things, materialistic people. That's the way to hellish life. Mother Sita has her hand up.
Yes, I Krishna Prabhu. So, there are, I personally feel a lot of times that when I pay obeisances, I am now making the other person go on the floor. And I feel I don't feel comfortable. Like I am doing it, it's okay. I mean, but now I'm making the other person go down, and that's I was like, some have physical challenges, some are older, some are, or even if they're not, I feel like now I am the cause of this, and I just feel uncomfortable with that. How do I deal with that?
That's a good question. It's a good point. It's a good point. Good question. Of course, at Raghunath Das Goswami, he was a senior person there in Vrindavan, so he was doing that. And Acharya Prabhu talked about getting, maybe we could sell them at the store, knee guards. But it's even though you may have somebody who's elder getting down, really they're offering obeisances not just to you, but to the super soul in the heart of every living entity. They see you as that. So I understand your reluctance to do that. But they have their option to not necessarily get down. I mean, on the other hand, you have, when Lord Krishna met the Pandavas, Nakula and Sahadev would offer him obeisances, isn't it? And then we don't see that Krishna necessarily got down to offer obeisances, right? We don't see that. And Arjun embraced, and Bhima and Yudhishthira, he offered obeisances, and we don't see that they got down. So anyway, there is that also. So it's not required necessarily that the superior get down and offer obeisances, but it's certainly allowed. When Srila Prabhupada would come into the temple, everybody would offer obeisances. He would offer obeisances to the deities, but he didn't necessarily offer obeisances to all of us either, one by one either. So that's okay. If they don't offer obeisances, it's okay. Or if they want to, it's up to them. And if
Prabhu,
they
I
can't,
have some problem like that too.
you have a problem in what way?
Paying obeisances
Yes.
because I cannot get up, and I feel so uncomfortable.
That's understandable.
No, but I feel so uncomfortable, Prabhu. If any senior devotees go, if I didn't do that, I feel so comfortable.
So what do you do?
I just do just like that, but I'm not comfortable.
Okay. There must be, we'll have to research
there any
this.
way for that?
It's a good point. It's a good point to bring up. We'll have to research this. Maybe Acharya can help out a little bit, but I know that you sincerely, you want to offer obeisances, but sometimes you just can't because of physical infirmities, as Mother Sita said. So what could be done? Of course, there's always vocal respect, and sometimes people, they touch the ground or they touch something to their head, something like that. What do you think, Acharya Prabhu? Are you still there, maybe? No, he's not.
When I was young, I used to sit
I'm
and
here.
put my head on their toes, and then I used to get up.
Okay.
But now I just, with physical, I could do.
Yeah, I understand. You just can't
In
do
my
it.
marriage, everybody started laughing because I was sitting and then putting my head to their toes. I used to get up each and every person, and in my marriage, I did everybody. But
Well, you've practiced that aspect of humility. You got the benefit of that, even though they laughed. It's okay. Acharya Prabhu, you're going to say something.
Yes, this is from Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 58, text 4. After the Lord bowed down at the feet of Yudhishthir and Bhim and firmly embraced Arjuna, he accepted obeisances from the twin brothers Nakula and Sahadev.
Yes. So he didn't get down in that
Well,
case.
it says he bowed, yes, after the Lord bowed down at the feet of Yudhishthir and Bhim.
Yes. But he didn't bow down to Nakula and Sahadev. Is that right?
He accepted obeisances from the twin brothers.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I did that. So we haven't come to a conclusion after that. Let's go. We can do some more research, and what Acharya said is acceptable. Certainly, of course, it's from Srimad Bhagavatam. But when devotees offer obeisances, even the senior or the junior, what should be done in all cases? That might be left up to, in certain cases, to the individuals. Okay. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Prabhu.